Hey, it's Marin, and this is the yearly 2020 forecast for Sagittarius Risings. So we will look at the astrology for all of 2020, what's happening in the planets in your chart. Then we will look at the tarot, the oracle deck cards, and the law of attraction cards so that we look at what's happening and then we get some guidance on how to best deal with those energies and those areas of life that are really being targeted for you. So we'll get started looking at these slower moving planets. Where are the heavy hitters in your chart? Because the slower moving, more outer planets, they take longer to pass through areas in your chart, meaning that the areas are focalized for longer periods of time and they're more of a focus. So starting out with Jupiter, the very end of 2019, Jupiter moved into your Capricorn second house, meaning that the expansion and growth and optimism that Jupiter indicates came into your financial world. So there will be more increased opportunity, probably a bit more money coming your way this year. So Jupiter will also be sextile Neptune and Pisces in your fourth house, meaning that the growth, the optimism, and the expansion of your Capricorn second house, the financial expansion that you're having, is then allowing you to pursue some dreams regarding home, family, or property in your life. This will go exact February 20th, July 27th, I can't see my dates, and October 12th. So you can expect those to be potent times for this financial opportunity coming your way to help you out at home. Jupiter will also be conjunct Pluto in your Capricorn 7th house. So Pluto has been a Capricorn for the past few years, asking for transmutation, transformation, crisis, trauma, breakdown to break through in your personal financial world. And with Jupiter expanding that, it's kind of the lid being blown off of the pressure cooker, or the final culmination time for all the metamorphosis that's happening in your second financial house. So this will go exact on April 4th, June 30th, and November 12th for the big time to the event to happen. Jupiter will station retrograde at 27 degrees of Capricorn on May 14th, and Jupiter will station direct at 17 degrees of Capricorn on September 12th. So if you have anything, a planet, maybe a point at 27 Capricorn or 17 Capricorn, expect those to be very much illuminated and enlarged by Jupiter this year on those dates. Jupiter will enter Aquarius at the very end of 2020 on December 19th, and Jupiter will conjoin Saturn at 0 degrees of Aquarius on December 21st. So the very end of the year, the expansion, the optimism, and the growth will move into your third house of communication, short-term travel, and affairs with siblings. And joining Saturn at the very end of the year means that there will be a new structure, a new paradigm, a new thought form coming into that third house of communication, short-term travel, and siblings, but that will be at the tail end of the year. So most of 2020, this expansion will be happening in your second house of finances, which I know after being hit by the Capricorn pilot for a little while, you can use some financial, not that things are, going to be bad for every Sag rising, but every Sag rising has been learning and growing through the limitations and challenges of the financial world. So let's move on to Saturn. Saturn brings limitations, challenges, black and white karma, and learning. Brings a foundation, a structure into your life, and it has been in your Capricorn second house for quite a while, but this year, March 21st, it will move into your Aquarius third house of communication, short-term travel, siblings, speaking your truth, short-term little trips, that sort of thing. Meaning that the lessons and limitations will move into that area of your life. It could be new writing projects ask for a lot of maturity and growth on your part. It could be some hardships with siblings, or comrades is another, whoever is like a sibling to you in your life. So on May 11th, Saturn will station retrograde at 1 degree of Aquarius, and it will re-enter Capricorn on July 1st. Saturn will station direct at 25 degrees of Capricorn on September 29th and re-enter Aquarius on December 17th. So if you have any points at 1 degree Aquarius or 25 Capricorn or any planets there, expect those to be very much, lessons being learned in that, whatever that planet focalizes in your life. So let's move on to Uranus. Uranus is the great liberator, the Promethean force, where it brings an itch we can't scratch to awaken and revolutionize, upgrade that area of our life. It's in your Taurus sixth house, which is an area of your life that regards health, daily routine, taking care of yourself, and also coworkers or pets or slaves. That should not apply at this point in human evolution. It's a traditional ascription to this house. I'm kidding. coworkers, pets, daily routine, and health is the sixth house. So with Uranus being there, it's shaking up and asking you to upgrade, and you're likely going through a phase where maybe you're really obsessed with like biohacking or superfoods or something like that, where you're interested in like the cutting edge of nutrition or health, or maybe you're having some unexpected situations in the workplace with coworkers. So this has a few more years to its 7-year-long transit basically, but January 10th, Uranus will station direct at 2 degrees of Taurus, and then August 15th, Uranus stations retrograde at 10 degrees of Taurus. So if you do have any planets at 2 or 10 degrees of Taurus, those will be, the lid blown off of them. Finally, the final planet that we will touch on is Pluto. Pluto is still in Capricorn, has a few more years to really transform and bring crisis, trauma, healing, deep experiences into your second house of finances. And so on April 25th, Pluto will station retrograde at 24 degrees of Capricorn, and on October 4th, Pluto stations direct at 22 degrees of Capricorn, meaning that if you have anything at 24 or 22 Capricorn, expect those to really be transformed, have the skin rubbed raw so it can be baby soft for this next upcoming Pluto transit, and that area of your life just really transforming still for the next few years. So without outer planets being touched on, let's move into inner planet retrogrades. When a planet is retrogrades, its significations are reversed, internalized, delayed, or reworked somehow. So that, for example, the first thing we'll touch on is Mercury retrogrades. Mercury retrogrades are times when Mercury significations of writing, communication plans are delayed, internalized, or asked for you to contemplate and go within about. So the first Mercury retrograde will be February 16th through March 9th in your Pisces 4th house and Aquarius 3rd house. So that this will be a time of rethinking home and family, and also communication, short-term travel, and siblings, rather than beginning anything anew in those areas of life. June 18th through July 12th, there will be a Mercury retrograde between your Leo 9th house and Cancer 8th house. So that the area of life that's asked to be reworked is foreign travel, higher education, authority. I would not, go on a long distance trip during this time. And also your 8th house of shared finances. Maybe looking back and looking at your bank statements instead of like starting a new joint financial asset venture. On October 14th through November 3rd, there will be a Mercury retrograde between your Scorpio 12th house and Libra 11th house. So watch out for patterns of self-undoing. I would look at where your psychology is asking you to go within during this time rather than acting habitually. Also not a good time for social gatherings or networking during that last Mercury retrograde of October into November. There will be a Venus retrograde May 13th through June 25th in your Gemini 7th house. So Venus retrograde in your 7th house, watch out for old relationship patterns coming back, whether that's with a person or just a pattern in a current dynamic. Watch out for women reappearing in your life. Watch out for you returning to old ways of coping or being gluttonous or like overbearing in your life. It's a good time to reconsider relationships and female figures in your life more so than start new ones. There will be a Mars retrograde this fall, September 9th through November 13th in your Aries 5th house. A good time to look back at efforts you have made regarding creativity, children, or romance in your life. I would not try to have or conceive a child or start a new romance during this time, as it will probably turn out to be more frustrating or aggressive than it's worth. Finally, let's look at eclipses. Eclipses are areas in axis, a channel in our chart that is going through evolution and upgrade in our life to reflect the collective movement of consciousness throughout. So this is a transition year. The transition between eclipses being in your Capricorn 7th house and Cancer 8th house into your Gemini 7th house and Sagittarius 1st house. So the eclipses are moving from your financial world into your self and relationship world. So January 10th, there is a lunar eclipse full moon at 20 degrees of Cancer in your 8th house. A final culmination and high point of shared finances in your life. June 5th, there is a lunar eclipse, a full moon at 15 degrees of Sagittarius, a new beginning for you to, for the first of several cycles, show off the culmination high point of who you are in your physical identity. On June 21st, there is a solar eclipse, a new moon at 0 degrees of Cancer in your 8th house. So a final new beginning to set seeds to be planted for the next 6 months, few months in your shared financial world. And then on July 5th, there is a lunar eclipse full moon at 13 degrees of Capricorn, the final culmination in your financial world to release whatever patterns, projects, energies happening in your financial world are time to be let go of or showed off. November 30th, there is a lunar eclipse full moon at 8 degrees of Gemini in your 7th house. The first of several culminations or high points in your financial or your relationship and partnership world. And then on December 14th, there is a total solar eclipse, a new moon at 23 degrees of Sagittarius. So if your ascendant is near 23 degrees Sag, or honestly all Sag risings, this is a time of planting the seeds for something regarding your self-identity to really blossom in a huge totality for the next upcoming months. So with that being said, and the focus really coming back onto you as a Sag rising, let's look at the tarot deck to see what 3 cards are signifying the 3 parts of 2020 for your life as Sag risings this year. So the first part of 2020, we have the 9 of Pentacles reversed, which has to do with a project not working due to an inconsistency in your energy. You're either not putting enough energy in, or you're overdoing it with energy that ends up not working out. So this is asking for a refinement and a retuning in how you're expressing your energetic output. So the second part of 2020, we have the 8 of Wands, which actually corresponds to the first decan of Sagittarius. And the card is called Swiftness. It has to do with a project moving on its feet. So second part of 2020, you find your footing, you go after your projects, you get things going. And by projects, I mean like literally anything in your life. You get things going very efficiently. And it's funny because the next card we have is actually the 9 of Pentacles, or the 9 of Wands, which corresponds to the second decan of Sagittarius. And this is a card of gathering your materials and not letting go. Like you are committed to whatever project you're working on for the last part of 2020. So for the beginning, you're kind of finding your footing, you're finding the routine that works for you. What is the balance of give and take that you need in your life in order to pursue what you want to pursue? And then middle to end of 2020, the ball is rolling for what you're working on. So let's do a head, body, heart spread with the Work Your Light Oracle deck cards to see what 3 cards guidance is coming up for Sag risings. So for the head card, we have Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? Maybe you pick up a new philosophy that you're studying or a new way of thought that you're incorporating into your life. What new thought paradigms can you incorporate to upgrade your consciousness? For the body card, we have Warrior Woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? This is asking for a change in how you physically work with your energy. Maybe you're asked to move physically in a different way. You're asked to step into like an exercise that is conscious and allows you to tune into yourself, starting your day off or ending your day with a physical movement that aids you. And then for the heart card, we have Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. I think you have a big message to share based on the healing and the abundance mindset that you have stepped into for this year. It's your time to open your heart up to teach the world what you have now learned. So now let's pull a Law of Attraction card to see what attraction guidance is coming through for Sag risings for 2020, how to attract those things into your life that you're looking to attract. I get what I think about, wanted or not. It makes no difference whether you want the specifics of it or not. It is the vibrational essence of the subject of your attention that is being attracted. That which you really, really, really want, you get, and that which you really, really do not want, you get. So fine-tuning your thoughts to focus on that which you want to attract and grow into, and fine-tuning the focus to specify on the momentum that you want to go after this year. And based on what the transits and the cards are showing, you figure this one out. So if this was helpful, like, subscribe, do all the things, comment below what this year is looking like for you and how you're feeling about it if this resonated. I do offer private astrology consultations and would love to read for you. So other than that, I will see you in the next video.